Atlanta, where the Falcons' mandatory minicamp is underway. Look at new quarterback Kirk Cousins out there opening his first minicamp with the team. This team has a chance to make some waves in the NFC South and maybe beyond, of course. Kirk Cousins getting valuable reps there and in the next few weeks with a group of skill players. It could be formidable. The Falcons have taken a skill player in the top 10 in 4 straight drafts. Michael Penix in 2024, of course, as we all know. Bijan Robinson in 2023. Drake London in 22. Kyle Pitts in 2021, and they're just the second team in the common draft era to select an offensive skill player in the top 10 of 4 consecutive drafts. The Lions also did this from 2002 to 2005. Roz, when you see that list and how that group has performed so far, it's got to be disappointing for Falcons fans, right? We hear from them a lot. We know about that. Is there an expectation that guys like London, Pitts, and Bijan will put up bigger numbers in a Cousins-led offense?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, did you see where they were all picked? Look, I mean, like there's a sense that obviously quarterback play held these guys back after the early years of their career. The Falcons haven't had quality quarterback play. And if Cousins is able to perform at the level he did for years in Minnesota, then I think they believe that those guys will be better by extension, which is important. I mean, there are other factors at play. Kyle Pitts was coming off of offseason knee surgery last year, played all 17 games, but I think the Falcons really felt like that limited his explosiveness. And Bijan Robinson was kind of in a timeshare because the coaches felt like that was the way to go with him last year. So, but I think the addition of Cousins is key. It's time to start figuring things out. Kyle Pitts is going into his 4th season. Soon these guys are going to be up for contract extensions. So it's time for these guys to start playing like where they were picked in that draft.
You know, Graz, yeah. And speaking of the draft, we've litigated the pick of Michael Penix Jr. enough. It's time to get back on the focus of the 2024 season, Laura. And the reason why we were also excited about this signing when it took place at the beginning of free agency is that this is the perfect trigger man for this Atlanta Falcons offense under their new coordinator, Zach Robinson, who, of course, has the root under Sean McVay, comparable system to what Kevin O'Connell ran with Kirk Cousins at a very high level in Minnesota. When you see Bijan Robinson and you see Drake London, you need to be thinking about a few years ago, Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson. Obviously, for London to get to the level of Justin Jefferson would be a remarkable accomplishment. He may be the best receiver in a very receiver-rich league. But that's what they need to get out of these two players, guys who are instant impact playmakers. There is a level for each of them to get to that has not even been close to scratch yet. This is a potential breakout season. I get it. People are still frustrated by the Penix pick. But I really believe Kirk Cousins is an ideal fit for what they need to do.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so I think the Falcons are going to be a really good team this season, without a doubt. I think they win the division. I don't think the Buccaneers have any chance. I don't think the Panthers have any chance. I mean, maybe the Saints, who knows? But I think the Falcons win this division. They have the best quarterback in the division. Usually that alone is enough. I mean, I have no reason to believe that Kirk Cousins won't make a full recovery. That just seems to be what happens with Achilles surgeries these days. And Kirk Cousins is a real deal quarterback. I mean, it's just people like to try to pull down Cousins, and they always want to point out all these things about how he's really not that great, this, that, and the third. The truth of the matter is he is a bona fide starting quarterback in the NFL that you can consistently rely on. And quite frankly, that's all you can ask for in the NFL. In a league where you either have superstars or people that end up being 3rd, 4th string, or even cut, like that's all you can really ask for and hope for. And that's really all the Falcons need, quite honestly, because they have a good enough roster, especially offensively. They have the coordinator that I think will do good. I would be more concerned with the Falcons if they didn't get their coordinator, who, right, like they just said, who came from Sean McVay and runs a similar offense of what Kirk Cousins is comfortable with. And I think that will put the Falcons and Kirk Cousins in a situation to really succeed, to thrive. And I think these other pieces, like Pitts, Bijan, like whoever, they are finally going to be able to play NFL football, because they've had this crazy, who the heck is going to be the quarterback when we do have the quarterback? What the heck can this quarterback even do? It's just been a disaster, and it is it's so dysfunctional that there's no other way to look at it. It's dysfunctional, and those players can't succeed under that. No player can succeed under that, in that type of circumstance. Could you be a happy and healthy kid being raised in a family where there's no food, no water, no nothing, and everyone just starts screaming at you every 10 seconds? It's not gonna be the best possible situation for you to succeed. And so there are a lot of big name weapons for the Falcons that have never really truly been able to be unleashed. We've never really get to see them be what they're meant to be. And that's why Kirk Cousins just needs to be stable. Like, you don't need Kirk Cousins to turn into Patrick Mahomes here or Joe Burrow. Like, you don't even need that. That's really my point. Like, even if you don't think Kirk Cousins is this really good to great quarterback, which is fine, I disagree. But if you want to say that, he's still good enough to elevate this team, to make this team a legitimate contender, a team that you can't just, oh, whatever, this is the Falcons, this is an easy game. Like, it's actually a game that you have to like plan for, that you actually can lose, right? And so the Falcons, I think, will genuinely be a good team. I think they win the division. I think they'll be in the playoffs. And I think come time playoffs, you're not going to want to face them. You're not going to be like, oh, I hope we get the Falcons. That'll be an easy first game. No, you're going to be like, all right, we got the Falcons. All right, let's go. Like, you're going to have to be motivated. You're going to have to be like all hands on deck. It's not going to be like, yeah, this is easy, whatever. We got it. This is practically, a practice game. It's not going to be like that. So I think if you're a Falcons fan, you should be really excited. You should be confident in Kirk Cousins. You should be confident in the coaching changes. You should be confident in your OC especially. And, again, there could definitely be some growing pains, but I think the offense is going to be like, oh my God, yes, we have a quarterback who knows what he's doing. And it's just going to be night and day. It's for them. It's going to feel like they could finally breathe. They're going to just, I promise you, they're going to be thinking, and maybe they even will verbally say this, everything feels so much easier now. Like, everything feels so much easier now. Because that's how important the quarterback position is. And when you don't have stability and you don't have trust and you don't have quality there, it's just impossible to get anything going. It's impossible. Impossible, impossible, impossible. They finally have it. So I just think it's going to be that feeling of just like, for these guys, like, it's been bitter, freezing cold, and they come inside the house, and it's finally, like, warm, and you get the fireplace going, you're drinking hot cocoa. Like, that's what it's going to be like for these guys. I know it's a silly example, an absurd analogy, but seriously, they're going to finally feel like they can play football, they can run an offense. Everyone feels that they finally have a chance. The defense is going to be more connected as well because they finally feel that their offense can do something. The coordinator actually has a quarterback and weapons to do things with, because sometimes you get a good coordinator and it's like, well, what can I do? The quarterback can't run an offense, or we have a quarterback but we have no other weapons. Like, what do we do here? We can't establish a run game. We can't establish this. We have no offensive line. Like, what do we do here? The Falcons don't have that problem. So I think the Falcons will be a lot better than many people are thinking, and I think they absolutely come home and win the division. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think the Falcons can truly make some noise with Kirk Cousins? Do you think Penix will end up being actually playing more than Cousins? Do you think they can win the division? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so that you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.